Have y'all ever felt like no matter what you do, you're still stuck in the same place? Like, you're running in circles, working hard, but you're getting nowhere. Bro, I promise you, there's one thing that's been holding you back this whole time. And if you don't fix it, you're never gonna grow. You see, I used to think success was just about working hard. Like, oh, if I grind 24/7, everything will work out. But then I realized I was doing all this work, but getting no results. And I finally figured out why. The thing that keeps most people stuck, you may ask? One word: comfort. Being comfortable ruins your ambition. And I know that sounds dramatic, but hear me out. Let's track back to when I was saying I was doing all the work, right? But getting no result. So, I used to play soccer in high school. You get what I'm saying? And before that, I used to play basketball when I was younger in middle school. And I always tried to understand why, no matter how much work I put in, I was just never getting the results I wanted. I was never getting the playing time I wanted. I was never performing well when I was on the court. And I was like, bro, why is nothing working for me? I felt like I was grinding all the time. You get what I'm saying? And yet, basketball just wasn't working. Soccer just wasn't working. Back in COVID, I was doing the same thing every day though. Scrolling, watching, thinking about my goals, but never actually doing anything different. To the point where I would gain weight from being in my mom's basement all the time because it was locked down and I never really trained for real, for real. I told myself I was grinding, but in reality, I was just comfortable doing the same thing. And guess what? Comfort feels real nice, but leads nowhere. That's why most people never change. So now you may be asking me, Lucky, how you gonna fix this? You know, similar to another video I put, I talked about change. You're gonna have to force yourself into discomfort. You're gonna have to force yourself. No one is ever gonna do it for you. You either leave your comfort zone or you stay stuck. Because at the end of the day, your life is your life. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else got their own lives to focus on. Why do you need somebody else to get you out of your comfort zone? Like, does that make any sense? You're dragging somebody else into your life and telling them, hey, help me out here. Take me out of this rut I'm in. Bro, you're not gonna have somebody to be there with you 24/7. You're like you're a baby. You're not a baby, bro. You're an adult. You're a grown man or a grown woman that is gonna be alone for the majority of your time, your life as a single person. Now, if you're married, it's slightly different, but even then, you're gonna have to figure out ways to be self-sufficient because you can't always rely on somebody else. Because another thing about relying on other people, then you're gonna start becoming a burden. You know what I'm saying? When you rely on other people, it's fine, but don't rely on them all the time. When you rely on them majority or all the time, when you rely on them for majority or all the time, you're putting so much pressure and responsibility on them for your life. Does that even feel right for you to do that? Like, come on, let's be real here. So you're gonna have to do it yourself and make sure you get yourself out the comfort zone, or else you're forever gonna get stuck because there's not gonna be somebody there to help you out every single time and get you out that hole you always been stuck in. If you're not constantly doing things that make you uncomfortable, whether it's learning a new skill, taking risks, or putting yourself out there, then you're low-key choosing failure. Growth is painful, but you know what's worse? Stagnation. Like, I'll give another example for myself. I'm putting myself out there through conversation because I'm a naturally closed off person. I've said this in my last couple videos. I don't really do well talking to others, but I've made a consensus effort. I made an active effort to go out and talk to people. I'm not gonna lie. This joint has been so hard. Like, it's so hard. Like, I be thinking, how do extroverts manage to talk to people off the dome as soon as they see somebody they never even met? Like, I can't do that. But I'm trying. And because I'm trying, eventually I'll end up becoming that same extrovert that's able to just talk to anybody on command. Just ask yourself, are you really pushing yourself? Are you truly pushing yourself? Or are you just comfortable pretending you are? The difference between success and failure is how many times you step outside that comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? There are 3 freedoms in the world that you can have: financial freedom, time freedom, and location freedom. Now, if you are always in your comfort zone. And also, the comfort zone is very circumstantial depending on the individual. We could say a person has been pushing the boundaries of their comfort zone their whole life to the point where their comfort zone is so big that that it doesn't even matter, because any situation they're put in, it's within their range, it's within their comfort to be able to adapt and to prosper. You know what I'm saying? But you can only have that through experience and getting yourself outside of your small comfort zone. Because you see the circle right here. Let me do it like this. It's small like this, but if it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, the more you put yourself out, the more. Let me write it on the whiteboard for you. This is your comfort zone, right here. This is you. This is you. You know what I'm saying? But the more you end up going outside your comfort zone, going outside your comfort zone, going outside your comfort zone, comfort zone. You know what happens? The circle ends up getting bigger. You do even more. You know what I'm saying? It gets even bigger. You do even more. Man, what happens? Hey, chat, tell me. What do you think's gonna happen? It gets even bigger, bro. It's just gonna keep on getting bigger to the point where it's bigger than the whole whiteboard, bro. And that's my whole point about how the comfort zone will always be different depending on the individual. But yeah, you really just have to put yourself out there, take risks, because every business owner took a risk with their business to get to where they are. Every successful businessman, and even failed business people took risks by even starting a business. You know what I'm saying? That's just another example. But yeah, man, that's the video for today. I really wanted to emphasize how comfort is the one thing that holds a lot of people back from their true potential, because they're afraid of the risks. They're afraid of what might or might not happen if they too end up expanding their comfort zone and trying something else that they haven't experienced before. Or they're just comfortable and just like the way they're living right now. And they're like, I don't need nothing else. I'm good. I'm chilling. So if you're one of those people and you thought this video was helpful, let me know in the comments. And I have one last question. What's one thing you know you need to do but have been avoiding? Let's have a conversation in the comments. I appreciate y'all for watching, man. It's definitely a good ride this year, man. You know, I've been posting videos every week. You may or may not have noticed, this is the most consistent I've been on YouTube in years. The end of Ramadan is nearing, and I'm just thankful for every video, everybody that watches these videos, no matter how many views I get, whether it's 10 views or 100 views or 1,000 views. I appreciate every single person that watches it, because it could always be worse. And I just pray that these videos provide value for anybody out there. And yeah, so if they do provide value, I appreciate you to please keep watching my videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on all my other platforms. I post videos everywhere. You can find me on every platform. And I appreciate y'all, bro. Peace to the Middle East, homies.